learning I've got to keep it off my lips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Lab's Hotsauce Marketing Challenge. Today we have a special guest joining us. Allow me to introduce Isaac, or better known to friends as Sucky. Isaac is an entrepreneur in the e-commerce space. For the past 7 years, Isaac has been working as a viability consultant at a prestigious Big Four bank. He didn't tell us which one. But in 2019, he started to become unsettled with the typical 9-to-5 work life. Seeking a change and a chance to explore new avenues for financial success, Isaac embarked on a quest to find alternative income streams. It was during this time that his boss invited him to a Success Resource conference. Here, a speaker introduced him to the exciting world of Amazon FBA business model, capturing Isaac's imagination and igniting his entrepreneurial spirit. Within just 3 months, Isaac took a leap of faith and established his own brand, Novaware, specializing in kitchenware. Leveraging the power of Amazon's e-commerce platform, he swiftly brought his products to market. Motivated by the freedom and flexibility of the laptop lifestyle, Isaac continues to grow his brand, constantly seeking new opportunities. But Isaac's ambitions don't stop there. He plans to travel overseas. He aims to source even more innovative products to expand his store and provide customers with the best in kitchenware. Beyond his professional pursuits, Isaac's passions lie in fitness, health, Aussie rules football, I believe he's an avid Collingwood supporter, and travel. Balancing his demanding 9-to-5 grind with his flourishing e-commerce business, Isaac is determined to continue growing his brand in the hope it will become his full-time gig. Isaac, it is with great pleasure to invite you to the Marketing Lab Hotsauce Marketing Challenge. We are ready for a big one today because Sebastian has bought some new sauces and we want to know how you're feeling about taking on this challenge.
Equally excited and extremely nervous looking at the hot sauces we have in front of us and the warning signs on the boxes of those chips. So
yes,
ready to go. We
did add a new challenge, I'd call it, to this challenge, which is the world's hottest chip, guys. These things have been compared to pepper spray, according to
pepper spray, correct.
Yeah.
16 million Scovilles.
Seb took a trip down to the hot sauce shop in Collingwood there, picked up some new sauces, and the lady actually told him that this is like pepper spray.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it up to Isaac at the end of the challenge to see whether he wants to tackle that.
Let's see how we go. They're out of the box, so I think we might have to give them a little taste.
I think so.
Exactly.
All right, Seb, do you want to jump into the first question, or should we start basting some chicken? What do you think?
I think it's a good time to maybe start asking you, what happened during that time when you went to this seminar and you were introduced to a concept. What was driving you behind that concept, that idea of starting your own venture?
Yeah, great question. It happened in a point in my life when I was already doing a lot of introspection. Like I spent times at Tony Robbins events and various other courses, just asking the question of what I wanted out of my life. Mm-hmm. And then I had this feeling, I looked at the jobs of people at the organisation, 3 or 4 more positions senior, and none of them really excited me. If I imagined getting that job the next day, it didn't really change my emotion, didn't excite me. So that was pretty obvious to me that's not where my future sit. Then my boss at the time took me to this event and there was a guy presenting on an Amazon business, FBA, and I looked at it and it aligned with all the things I wanted in my life, which was to be able to travel, live in other places around the world for extended periods of time, be my own boss, have financial freedom, and create something of my own where I had full control of the upside and the downside of it. I wore the brunt of it and I got all the rewards for it. So it fit the model, and then I sort of sat on it for a few months and then eventually went for it. Started the course and the journey started.
Excellent. And that's usually the best way to go about things, is to try and find what drives you as a person and then try and build your business, your brand, your persona around that. And that's amazing that you said that. And I want to talk more about how, I guess, you took this idea and you made it flourish, or did you try it many times over? Did you give up? Give me the grind of getting that going.
Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of doubts. wanting to become an entrepreneur and step into that world after being in corporate for close to 10 years, there was a lot of doubts of, is that me? Or am I just pretending to be that? So the mindset part was the most challenging part to overcome, but also the most rewarding, because when I overcame that and learned to manipulate my mind a bit better, I was able to take that into my everyday life, to my family, to my friends, and that was super beneficial. And like some of those struggles were, I started with products, I got 6 months down the line of developing it, and then I learned new things and realized this product isn't going to work. It's not differentiated enough, it doesn't actually solve a problem, the commercials don't stand up. So then I had to start from the start again. And that happened 2 times, so it wasn't until a year and a half that I launched my first product. But yeah, there was a lot of back and forth, both the mental battle and just the process of trying to find a product that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's trying to get through whenever things go wrong, the ads don't work or the product just doesn't seem to be taking off, that you start wondering whether you're even supposed to be doing this, whether you're doing it right, whether it's made for you. So getting through the grind is the hardest part, but as you get through to the end, you start seeing what others don't, right? So talk to us about the journey and the different products that you had, and when did you find something that worked? What were you looking for in terms of measures to give you that feeling that you're on the right track?
Yeah, well, there was never complete certainty until I launched and it started selling. So the first 2 products I looked at were colostomy bags, and then I looked at whipped cream dispensers, both of which the offering I was doing didn't really solve a problem. It was just a different color. The quality wasn't better than my competition of the samples I was getting. But then when I went into kitchenware, I found I went through Pinterest and I found a unique solution to a common product. And I thought I could integrate that in with how it's currently used, and then lift the quality of it. So use the best materials I could find, because a lot of the complaints were around the strength of it was weak. It broke easily. So noticing and paying a lot of attention to what customers were saying, and with Amazon the reviews are right there, so you can see what customers are saying, what they're complaining about, and aiming to solve those problems. And so to begin with, I worked with the supplier. I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and really just heard them out. Like, they're the experts in the product, they make it every day. How can we solve this problem? How can we do this? Can we do that? And I was fortunate that I found a good supplier from the start. I narrowed it down from quite a few, but it meant they had a great attention to detail. They understood me, they could communicate well, which isn't always very common from China. And yeah, we worked together to launch that product, and then ran with it for about a year, and realized I could grow this business by launching other variations of it. And like you said, the brand really started to connect with my own purpose, and I was able to really build that mission into the brand as well, about things I stand for, which took a whole nother level of meaning to the business.
Yeah, it's amazing I'm hearing you say that, because we say this to the marketplace that are looking to launch new brands and new products, is how are you going to be different? How are you going to be different? So if someone's coming to us with another Me Too product that everybody else has, it's hard to differentiate. And if you're just coming with a different color variation or just little gimmicks just to try and win a sale over, then you win on the front end, possibly, or maybe Google or Facebook do, but at the end of the day, you're left with really small margins. You can't expand on what you've built. So, often what you're talking about is drop shipping or affiliate market back in my days, right? Which was just to push somebody else's product, but that doesn't build your business. That builds their business. You're just taking a skim off that. So I often say to Nick, good products have a good solution to a problem. And the better it solves it and the unique it is to the individual or the brand, that's when you've got a business. And that's when, things take off. And we'll talk more about ads in a minute and all that sort of stuff. So I guess it was just a matter of discovery for you. And even though you skimmed through it really quickly, these things came to you intuitively. A, to listen to the customer, B, to be different, and C is to try and partner up with a company that's going to help you push those boundaries. So that's amazing.
And yeah, it did in parts, but a lot of it wasn't. Like, I really dug into education. I knew nothing about business to start with. I knew nothing about how to launch or grow or develop a product or solve problems. It was all through training. And I started with one training module, which was a course I bought originally. Then I did another and another.
What was it called?
Reliable Education.
Reliable Education.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's an Australian-based company, and they sell a $4,000 course, which gives you the A to Z, but it was very high level.
Yep.
So then I started to engage with people in the community. There's lots of communities in Australia, actually, Amazon communities. Seek out mentors, join private mastermind groups, connect up with people every fortnight, just share ideas and build that. And that's why the first iterations of products I realised weren't going to succeed, because I learned that along the way. So by the time I got to that third product, I sort of knew what it takes for a product to succeed. So there's never complete certainty, but I had a reasonable idea.
Yeah, absolutely. The more you do the testing and figuring out, the better you're going to get. It's just a matter of doing it quickly, doing more of it so that you can figure out what's going to work. I mean, Nick and I, we're constantly just, coming up with random ideas about what businesses would work. And I guess that comes from doing the trial and error on an ongoing basis. Nick, you got a question for Isaac? Or should we get straight into basic?
But let's get into the first sauce.
That's it.
This is one of Seb's favourites, and I can never pronounce it, so I'll let Seb go for that one.
Wahisho red jalapeno. So this is actually very flavoursome. In terms of heat, it's probably a 3 or 4 out of 10. So just grab a chicken and let's base it with this sauce.
Wonderful. So if we struggle on this, we have a real problem ahead of us.
Yes.
Correct. Correct.
Let's see where we're at.
Hopefully you don't start sweating on this one.
Let's go.
All right. Looks like this is a fresh one. So I just bought this today, obviously because we wanted to get some fresh sauces for Isaac here, so a special surprise for him. And if you're looking for hot sauces, go to Matt's
Hot Sauce Shop or Hot Shop in Collingwood. They've got a great selection down there. And I guess whilst you're basting that sauce, I might just ask you the next question, Isaac.
Please.
So we did touch on your product. I guess what we want to know is what the product is, and I guess what problem it does solve.
Yeah.
Just so we can give viewers a good understanding of, I guess, your thinking about how you got into that market, what you were looking for, and I guess the innovation behind the product that you've created.
Absolutely. So it's a magnetic knife holder, and if you picture those, you've probably seen them in restaurants or on people's walls, just those strips, usually stainless steel.
Yes.
What I added as an innovation was a rear slot. So what we figured out was generally people who are getting this have limited counter space and limited space. So by adding an extra slot, we're essentially doubling the storage. So you can put it in the rear or on the front. That was our main point of differentiation. The second point was, through research, majority of negative reviews were around weak magnets. So whether it be knives are falling off, or as they moved it along, it sort of stuck at different points. Gotcha. So there was dead spots in between. That was another major point. So we used neodymium magnets, so the world's strongest permanent magnets, and we did it continuous. So we used tiny ones like this, and just one after the other. So that way it sticks at every point, like with a solid sort of thud.
Fantastic.
And then the last point was so we went wooden initially. People complained about splitting wood, cheap wood, not varnished correctly. So we used walnut wood and acacia wood, like all high quality, and quality checked it pretty closely.
Yep.
So those 3 things were the key points. Then we just went hard on branding, which is still evolving. So make sure we're standing out from the typical Amazon listing of a Chinese seller on there.
Yes.
Who's just sort of thrown something up. We wanted to be in the high-end price market. So you'll see our price is about double the price of almost every other listing.
Gotcha.
Because we didn't want to get caught in a race to the bottom on Amazon, as you said. because on there, like, margins already can be fairly slim, and I'm not going to be able to beat a Chinese supplier who's actually working with the factory on price. So it had to be a premium product that solved the real problem in order to make sure there's margin there as well.
Fantastic. I guess just hearing you talk about the research that you went into, you went through the comments, you found what people disliked about other products, and you use that to your advantage is a great tip that anyone who is, you know, on the verge of starting an e-commerce store or an Amazon store or has one and is looking to take it up a notch, that's definitely a major tip that you should consider when trying to be innovative with your products and trying to differentiate with your products.
Yeah, that's right. And as you said, where others are trying to slap something on the shelf just to make a quick buck, you knew the best way to differentiate, I guess, is to go premium.
Yeah.
And to start listening to what the customer's telling you they want, and then build it for them. And that's amazing, because you're now focused on filling a gap in the marketplace.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? We'll get started?
Let's get started and see how we go.
Nice.
Flavoursome.
You can see why this is my favorite. It's just a little pinch, but a lot of flavor.
It's a nice start.
So
It's a good starter.
I didn't click with that bone and nearly swallowed the whole thing.
Oh, did you? That would have taken a turn. CPR on the hot sauce.
That'd be a good
challenge.
episode.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, do you want to get into the next one?
yeah, I do. So, what, you went straight to Amazon, you didn't try selling it direct to marketplace using your own website. Did you focus on growing your social? You talked about building the brand. At what stage are you at of testing?
Yeah, good question. So I think what you realise pretty quickly, especially once you start getting traction, that there's a million directions you can go. And like, you can go retail, you can have your own e-commerce site, you can go Amazon. Then there's so many different directions you can go with a product. So there is an element I found of like picking a direction and getting good at that before I go to the next one. So I started with Amazon because that's what I learned, and that's where I saw a massive area of opportunity to scale a business with not needing any employees, at least to about that million in sales point. You can manage generally with one person. So I started there, and started with Amazon. In terms of socials, that's something I neglected for quite some time. I've just started building those up recently, now that I'm looking to get like a community around it. But for so long, I had a mental barrier that I couldn't do socials, that I wouldn't know what to do, what to post. So I had to just get past that, which I have recently, and that was just another part of the growth of it.
Yeah, and I guess for you, it was a matter of saying, okay, Amazon works. It works for a lot of people, and I'm going to go strong on this, and I'm going to become the best that I can, make this profitable, and then look to expand to other avenues of driving traffic, right? And that's the power of the internet. There's so many different ways you can do things that often people will only put little dribs and drabs of effort and attention to each one, and it doesn't have any impact. Whereas if you focus and you channel in on something, then you can say, I figured out how to make it work here. Right? And what you did really well, which I think, again, you're sort of skimming through it, is you started listening to the marketplace about what they wanted, what product they wanted. And then once you establish what that is, the brand comes to life. And once the brand comes to life and the reviews start looking amazing, that's the time to blow it up social. So your mental barriers, I would say they were probably right. They were probably telling you, I'm not prepared to get some socials out now. I'm not 100% satisfied with how this is working, how that's working. Now that you feel like you've gained traction, that's the best time to do it. And we had James here, and he said the same thing. He built, him and his family built a construction company, and the first 5 years of operating the business, he was trying to figure out where he was going to fit into the scheme of things. And once he discovered that, he's now ready to get the message out to the marketplace. I really love that.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, it's bang on. Like, now there's the brand's taken on that mission and that direction that it didn't quite have, or it had, but I wasn't fully aware of early. And now that it's there, when you're going out on socials, you're confident in what it is, and you can have a single direction, and it's clear. It's not sort of like 5 different personas you're appealing to. You're sort of that one persona. This is what we are.
Yeah, and that can then mirror to other products and other ways you please that customer, because you now know who that customer is. You know they're after something that's going to help them with space, and they want to be able to get more of the products on the display. You might discover a new product that you hadn't thought of before, and now it's like, how do I turn that, that customer that I satisfy here, I can satisfy them there, here, and everywhere else. So that's amazing. Nick, question, or do you want to get into the next one?
Get into the next one. I've got a question brewing.
Yes.
So let's go into the next one. It's the Hamajan. What is it? The Hamajan?
Hamayang.
Hamayang. Yeah. I'm no good with these names, but I'll try and pronounce them anyway. Do you want to give it a shake, Seb, before we get going?
Hawaiian hot sauce again. I think this gets the party started.
This one does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's from this point on.
Yeah, I thought
they're dangerous when they have the smaller dripper coming out.
Yes, and they're a lot
True. I think Nick's idea today was to go hard.
There's a reason why. Saki and I, or Isaac, to viewers, know each other personally, so this is probably like a little challenge we have personally. But he also said to me that he does love chili, so I want to push the boundaries with his tolerance.
Let's see.
And see how well he can handle it.
Let's see how much I love it.
I'm gonna get stuck into
Let's
this.
get stuck into this one, and then we'll get the next question firing. What's that doing?
Still flavour?
Still flavour, but a lot more heat.
Yeah, there's more heat. It's more present.
More present.
For sure.
Right on the tongue.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're starting to get some awareness now.
Awareness. Correct.
So Seb and I find that there's some that are actually slow burners, so they don't hit you right away, but maybe after 10, 15, 20 seconds, they start to burn a lot.
And then you start to cry by the end of the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and that's only the start.
This is the start of my decline.
Because then it's, you hallucinate, you can't talk, and then you start sweating. So it's fun.
Exactly right.
Awesome. Bring it on.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. So I guess you've leveraged Amazon. As we know, Amazon is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to traffic. But what type of marketing have you done to push or promote your products on Amazon? So you talked about being different with your premium products, solving a problem in the market. But how were you getting traffic to the store, and what were any strategies that you used along the way to obviously promote the store?
Yeah. So initially, and still largely now, almost all my advertising is on Amazon.
Okay.
So using their pay-per-click.
Mm-hmm.
So they have just so much traffic already on the platform. And part of my assessment process of picking a product is checking for one that has traffic and has sales. So to see that people are searching for it on Amazon. So that was my first criteria. So I knew I'd be able to advertise there and get the sales I need on platform without anything else. I started doing it by myself because I wanted to learn pay-per-click and have an understanding of it before I outsourced it, but that was always the goal. When I started on my first order, I put down 10 grand US for the order and I only got 2 grand back. So I lost 8 grand on that first order. And my tacos, which is a total advertising cost over sales, was at 70%, which is the reason why I lost so much money.
Yes.
But I learned so much, and I learned so much in those stages about what to do, what not to do. Eventually I got that down to about 30%, and that was about 7 months in, and at that point I'm like, cool, I have the base understanding I want, now I want to outsource it. And that's where I found a guy, Ben Hewitt with Box Designs, and he does Amazon PPC management, and he took it on, got it down to 10%, and has been managing it since for the last year and a half. And the blessing that came out of that, I mean, he's across 25 other businesses, so I got such great consulting advice as well. Whenever I caught up with him, he helped me pivot from those times where I wanted to launch like other brands and go in other directions, but he urged me, hey, do variations, stay on this brand, and it was much simpler ways to expand that had a much better return on investment than the directions I was going to go. So it was a trickle-on effect of finding somebody who's specialised to guide me. and well worth the price.
Yeah, but you learned the craft yourself, which was good because now you can talk the same language, understand the test, and you also understand how to choose a good consultant. Someone that's got that experience behind him that can leverage the work that they've done and take it up for you a lot quicker.
For sure. Yeah. And that was the handy part about him. Like, he was aware of where I was at and was able to coast it along as well and take it up a notch.
Very fantastic. But I love the fact that, a lot of marketers and a lot of these platforms make it sound extremely easy to get a product, launch a product and start making money. But as you said, your first order, you lost $8,000. And then it's over this refinement process of understanding, okay, you did sell, but there were ways that you could improve on that return on investment, which you did. And getting a consultant in was a major part of that, but you also made innovations to the product and stuff as well. So
that was the key point at the start. Is I could see from that first order the product sells, and reviews started coming in where people were liking it. So I knew they liked it, I knew it sold. I just didn't have the commercials right yet. So that was the one piece I was missing. So overall, that first order was a success. And I think just you find with early in your business, you're going to have to wear all the hats. You can't outsource them yet. Like you said, you need to have that base level understanding to be able to speak to the people managing it for you. And you probably don't have the funds, most people early on, to pay for people to handle every single part. So you've got to wear all those hats. And then as you grow, I found it worked out well to start outsourcing parts of it, because I was at one point, we were talking about it before, I was spending 5-6 hours a week, and this is all doing it after hours, so I was limited in time, on advertising. I loved the analytical side. I loved the pay-per-click. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed getting better at it. But I noticed that it wasn't the right thing for my business for me to be working on that, because it wasn't actually growing. It was just getting the week to week. I needed to be working on looking at new products, expanding the business, because no one else can do that. Someone else can do this advertising. So that's why I outsourced it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens to a lot of business owners. They have to put on multiple hats, especially in small business. And then, no one else can actually take the role of the business owner or the director of the company, because they have the vision. It's only when they have the team around them that has the same vision is when they can rely on their team to do what the business owner should be doing. But a lot of businesses get caught up in wearing multiple hats, and I guess that's just the start of business. When you get started, you have to, as you would know, you've been for 12 years.
Absolutely, and like you, right? I'm the same. I get motivated by making mistakes and losing money. That's just what motivates me. So if I'm going to throw money into a campaign, I'm not sleeping until that thing's profitable, and that challenges me to figure out problems that I wouldn't have overcome if I had no money issues. So having those motivators, and over the years I've learned to promise people that if I don't achieve this, I'll pay you, and that drives me to not make those mistakes. So I really love that you had that in front of you, motivating you to crack the code. But like you said, I was trying to figure out, were there sales coming in? What were the reviews like? I've got something, right? I've got something. A lot of the times I say to clients, put it out, see if you can get a sale. See if you can spend $1,000, get a sale. Even if you break even, even if you run at a loss, we can figure out how to get it up from there.
And it'll change your mindset. Like, that process, it's so much work to get to that first sale. Like, that's such an achievement to get to that first sale. On Amazon, of the people who open a seller account, which costs money to open a seller account, only 2% actually end up listing a product. So many drop off just in that first part. And then you've got making a profitable business as well, which is a whole nother beast. But like, that first sale is a massive point to get to. And if you can get to that and actually see a sale, get the reward of that, and prove to yourself that you can do that, then the dominoes just keep falling.
Just a question: what period of time did it take before you got your first sale after launching?
It was overnight, so I launched in a day, and then I woke up and all 3 sales.
That's probably the best feeling you'll ever
I
have.
was gonna say, it's like a drug, isn't it?
I check it every day.
Keep refreshing.
I was
Yeah.
going to say have the ding notification, so
Yeah.
you know exactly. Oh no,
Cash
the
register.
money, the cash
Yeah.
register notification.
Yeah, I've done that in the past where I've had a cash register go off every time we made a sale.
That's awesome.
And it just kept going. And once we were out, and it just kept going all night. It was funny. It was
Eventually, you
funny.
got to turn it off.
Eventually, you got to turn it off.
Yeah.
Eventually, you get used to it, and you say, "Okay, let it be." And sometimes there's the fluctuation of the sales going up and down.
Sure.
And this is another area of problems that I see businesses make. Whenever things go bad, they start tinkering with it, and then they mess things up, and it's hard to get sales back to what they were. So, have you had any of these experiences before?
For sure. That's what I was doing when I was doing advertising. I was tinkering too much, and there's an element of you need to set, wait, and get a proper set of data, and you guys would know that pretty clearly. But handing that off to Ben, he was able to say, hey, look, we need to be patient here. We need to push harder here. So that was really helpful. But like, it also, I think what's not talked about enough is you develop, or at least you need to develop the emotional resilience, which becomes useful in all parts of your life. But you need to be able to say, when I have a day where I get less sales than I normally do, or I get no sales, that can't affect my mood. That can't bring me down. I can't be going, my energy and my enjoyment of life can't be in a cycle like that, like my sales are. You need to be able to stay calm and know the direction of the business, and know that you're going to have these short-term setbacks. For me, that was the most valuable part, because then I take that into other parts of your life when you have short-term setbacks, and you can stay calm in those moments.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess it's great to hear that you're learning things in business that you're taking to other aspects of your life, which is fantastic, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And also, is Ben local?
Sydney.
Sydney?
Yeah.
Maybe
We
fly
should.
Ben out and get him on the show.
Yeah,
I reckon.
yeah,
He seems
yeah,
like he's got a wealth of
Yeah,
knowledge
good.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll be down in
Absolutely.
Melbourne at some point.
oh,
so-
fantastic!
Get
We'll
him
get
here.
you both back on the
Yeah,
show
awesome.
and get
Love
some
to
hotter
hear more
sauces.
Ben's journey.
Yeah,
Great
definitely.
idea.
Should we get
Awesome.
tackled into the next
Yeah,
one,
let's
Seb?
go.
All right.
Let's go. What do we got?
Cherry bang bang.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Seb maybe just got just because of the name.
No, I'm told
It's a
that
cool
it's
label
actually
too.
it's apparently it's good flavour. It's got a pinch of sweetness to it.
Okay.
So it balances out the heat quite nicely.
Is it a thick or runny?
It's kind of a runny sauce, but it's a nice colour.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Let's get stuck in.
Smells hot.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Too much on.
Oh, we all bucketed this one on.
Yeah. How's it going? I might
Yeah.
skip this one again.
So far, so good.
Mm.
I'm waiting for the after kick.
Mm. You're doing very well so far, Saki.
I think we're all killing it.
No, you'll turn to your left at one point and I'll look like
You'll be gone.
out the run.
Nick won't say a word.
No, I'll be wiping my forehead quite
It's all right.
constantly.
You put your body on the line.
I do.
I like it.
I do. I told Seb this was going to be a good idea, and we're 6 episodes in now, and starting to regret that decision a little bit. But we'll continue on.
Yeah.
I'll just pop these back. Seb, do you want to get stuck into the next question?
Yeah, I think Nick sort of touched on it. How did you get attention to your listings? How did, like, in a crowded marketplace, you're using PPC to target specific audiences, maybe the previous clicks or the previous products that they've searched for, but like, what did you do to get them to pay attention to your listing and click yours?
Yeah, good question. So the good thing Amazon does do is they give you a honeymoon period.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first start in your first 5 or 6 weeks, that chili's just coming through now. So.
Cherry bang bang.
Yeah, I feel the bang bang. They put you at the top of the page to give you a chance to see if people want to buy that product, and then after that 6 weeks, your conversions and your sales data will dictate that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I needed to make sure whatever product I'm launching, because if you think of Amazon where you've got 50 products on a page, all you're seeing is a square and a title and a price, I need to make sure my point of differentiation, you could see it obviously from the photo. Because if they couldn't see what made my product great from that photo, they would never click on it, because there's products there that have thousands of reviews that are cheaper, that look great, why would they click mine with no reviews or with 10 reviews? So for mine with the double storage, I had to make sure it was on a tilt and slightly vertical, so you could see in the back that there was a slot. And I'm always testing that and playing with it, where I've got an A/B test running where I've also got a little snapshot of a side-on view. So just playing around with that to think about how can people see it clearly when they're scrolling through and it stops them and they say, oh cool, that's a product I need.
Very good, very good. The thumbnail on videos, thumbnails on display ads, on YouTube ads, this is what they see. And if you need to differentiate yourself from the hundreds of others that have got great reviews, cheap products, you know, how are you going to do it? You got to stand out, and you did that really well by the sounds of things. And what about the copy? What was your thought process behind the copy, and what was your copy going to do? Did you have a key to saying, okay, this is my point of differentiation? This is where we're strong.
Yeah, it was starting with, so you get 6 bullet points generally. So starting with the most impactful one at the start, so the double storage, then quoting warranties and things I offer that competitors don't. I had, so at the start, like you make do, and I had my best mate, Matt, actually do all the copy for me, help construct a lot of the graphics for the images, and we ended up putting together a really nice piece. And he did all that to me, like without anything out of pocket. So it was a massive effort from him and helping me get to that stage. So I think there's something about when you're starting up, like leveraging what you have at your disposal to make it work. But yeah, we're really targeted around what are our key features and what are the most important ones, and making sure they're front and center. So when someone comes onto a listing and they've looked at 5 other listings and they're only on there for 3 seconds, can they see what makes your product special?
Yeah, I love that within the first 3 seconds.
Yes.
Amazing. So you come to your listing and immediately you know everything that is great about your product and the business by the sounds of things, and the process of buying. So it's not just the product, you're also including guarantees, shipping, so that people know, okay, I got everything I need right now, I can make a purchase without even looking at the product page. And that's what you get to when you have immense amount of good reviews. People don't even look at the product page anymore, description, they just look through your reviews, which is incredible that you went down that route. How are we going with hot sauce? You want to go another?
Let's
keep going.
Yeah,
let's go.
I'm still
We're only getting started here, Nick.
Oh, my tongue is on fire.
Yeah, I'm feeling it
That
too.
was a slow burner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it came much later.
Much later. All right. The Widowmaker. This is one of my favourites.
So you married, kids?
Not married, not kids. Got a missus.
Yeah.
But yeah, not married.
Okay. And are you doing the travelling? You getting around the world, sitting by?
Yeah, that's the plan. So I fell in love with travelling when me and my mate went around Southeast Asia. Early on, so like when I was in uni, and I said, look, I want to do a lot of this. I want to travel around as much as I can, and that inspired the business as well. But it also meant for a short period of time I couldn't do it. So then I could make that a part of my life, because I'd like to live in places for extended periods of time, like 3-6 months in different parts of Europe.
It's funny you say that, because that was the same motivator for me. I came from an engineering background and loved product design and engineering, but I always thought, you know, there's more to this. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to, do something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, the travel part hasn't happened for me yet, especially when you have kids. So take that into consideration. So make sure you travel a bit before you have the kids. But in saying that, I've taken the family to Bali like 8 times.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
awesome.
love the
I think you're going to retire in Bali. That's what I feel.
You want
to
Mate, there's a
retire.
lot of Aussies
Sun.
down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Aussies down
You
there.
were in
I met a lot
Yellowwood
of
over
Aussies.
there. I saw some footage.
Yeah,
I saw
look,
some
it wouldn't be
footage.
hard for me to settle by the hot sun there, and the people, they're definitely lovely.
It's a great spot. I think what I've really enjoyed is now the business is actually taking me to different parts around the world. Like I did with E-comm or E-collective. They did a seminar where they brought 30 massive Amazon sellers to South Africa for 2 weeks earlier this year. It was an amazing event. Everyone there, the requirement was turning over more than $1 million a year. I was fortunate I had a good relationship, was able to come anyway. And there was one guy there doing $500 million a year.
Wow.
He's 26.
Whoa.
And he started 10 years earlier. He'd been doing it for 8 years and then realised like he's been going at this pretty flat out for a while. And he's like, I want to take a break. So he decided to become a DJ, has a couple million followers on SoundCloud, like traveling the world. And yeah, the people I got to be in the room with there, and then also seeing like doing a 5-day safari while I was there, it was just such an amazing experience. I came back and was just buzzing from it and inspired to take the next steps after.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I've been saying to you. The next step for us will be to build that mastermind group of other entrepreneurs that are growing, that are advancing, that can just look at us and say, or give us that pathway that we hadn't considered.
Yeah,
so that's amazing.
Right.
Absolutely love it. You ready to get
Tackle
started
the
on
next
this
one, and I've got a question for Isaac after this Widowmaker sauce, which it proves to be deadly.
Yes.
Have you had this one before?
Yes, we have.
It's an Australian brand.
15 out of 10 heat.
Western Australia, I believe. By the Dingo brand.
Yep.
As you can see, as you're getting hotter, the flavour starts to go a little bit, and just becomes all about the heat.
The heat comes sooner on this one.
It does.
I think I'm learning I've got to keep it off my lips.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are those lips? On fire at the moment?
They're burning.
The cherry bang bang really got me going.
It did.
That started the party.
It definitely did. So I guess, Isaac, we've talked a lot about the front end, the Amazon store, the advertising. Talk about some of the issues that you had in the back end. Obviously, talking with suppliers, were there any supplier issues? Any times where you felt like the product wasn't up to scratch and you had to, go back and forth with the supplier to make sure that it was to what you wanted when you're obviously going to put it out to the market? What are some of the unforeseen issues that maybe someone who is getting to e-comm or thinking about starting an Amazon wouldn't foresee?
Yeah. They're definitely going to happen. I've heard a lot of horror stories with suppliers. There's all you can really do is try and mitigate them. So have your good contract set out. Make sure you're assessing a supplier deeply. You're going through the process. You're getting quality checking on your stock. Like any bit of stock I have come out. So if it's 100 units, 400 of them will be quality checked, and I'll get a 30-page report from this independent company. That will give me photos, give me details where there's faults. And look, I'm fortunate that I haven't had any major issues with my supplier yet. The sales agent I work with has a great attention to detail. She picks up on things that I don't even notice, and she's like, hey, this from 3 months ago, do we still want that part of the product? So I'm very fortunate in that regard. I know there's going to be mishaps, like it's just part of it.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any major issues.
Okay.
The Amazon front, you also hear a lot of things where people get their listings shut down, where they're very hard to communicate with at times when you have issues. But it's just part of the beast. You need to learn to navigate it. So I think just probably developing thick skin and developing persistence with a lot of these things, because you're going to get told no with your suppliers, with Amazon, but you need to find your way around it. Sometimes you need to ask 3 or 4 times in different ways. So yeah, for me I haven't had any major issues yet, but I know when you do face them, and I listen to the stories of people who have faced them, like big amounts of stocks falling off ships and then not having like hundreds of thousands of dollars of stock, not having it in time for Q4. Like those are things where you can't foresee, and you just sort of need to stay calm and do the best thing forward.
I agree. But the ones that we get commonly are, it's hard to get these guys to make changes to the products. They're stubborn. Unless you got like 300,000 orders from them, they're not going to make changes.
That's a good sign though. That's like a question I asked from the start is, can you put my logo, can you make these changes? If they say they can't, they might not actually be the manufacturer. It might be the trading company.
I see.
And that's something we got taught pretty early on, is you want to be working with the manufacturer, because they're the ones who can actually tweak the product, work it, and give you the best price. A lot of trading companies pretend to be the manufacturer, and then they say, no, you can't change anything. It's because they're not making the product. But there is the fact of you're told minimum order quantities, which is also not true, because if they say you need to order at least 1,000, if you say charge me an extra $2 on per unit and I'll order 300, usually they'll be up for that. So you can test out a product.
Very good, very good. Just come in at it from a different angle. Never give up.
Yeah.
Keep knocking that door until you make it work.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I told my son last night, because he's getting videos up on YouTube and he's creating film clips for new tracks that are coming out into the marketplace.
Cool.
Just to make it exciting for people to watch the new tracks, right? So he's been uploading videos, and he's gotten setback. Google said, no, you need to verify your account, and he was all angry last night. I'm like, mate, figure it out. There's a way around this. Just make it happen. Nothing's ever going to be like, a straight path.
Yeah. I think what really helped for me with that is getting very clear on my vision, and being in touch with it regularly. Why am I doing this? Where do I want to go? So then when the barriers come, they don't knock you off and they don't stop you.
Yeah.
Because you've got this exciting place you're going to. And the other one that really helped is I imagined and I wrote out a world of what if I didn't do this? What would my life look like? And that really terrified me. So I had this one vision pulling me forward and this other reality pulling me back or pushing me forward, and something I didn't want to go to. So then when you hit those barriers, you're like, well, I'm just going to have to find a way through.
Correct. I'm absolutely on fire here.
It's starting to hit you.
You're holding it together well though.
Jeez, the Iceman is on fire.
It's not common for me to lose it, but Nick, we've lost you, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
You can't ask any more questions.
I was going to ask if you could please
pass you the milk.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
I definitely need to fill my glass up
I
with
know
milk.
Nick's not good.
No, I'm not. That one really got the party started.
Yeah. Isaac, you're the Iceman today.
I can feel the burn.
Okay,
It's
you can feel the
present.
burn.
I might be holding it together all right, but it's there.
I show it.
Yeah.
Definitely show it.
You definitely do.
I'm struggling.
It's relieving for you to show it. It makes me feel good.
Oh, fantastic. I'm just waiting for you when you're talking to Seb and then you look across and you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I might throw you off track with just how I look. But Seb, I wanted to touch on, I guess, something that's not business related, but it plays a massive part when it comes to business, which is what are the key motivators outside of business that keep you going? Because obviously you're juggling the 9 to 5 at the Big Four bank, and we still don't know which bank that works for. I might pull it out of him by the end of this session. And then you've got to go home and you've got to find that motivation to work on the business, like you said, tackle those barriers, and just keep going through the trenches. And obviously now you're starting to see the benefits and the rewards of all that hard work. But at the start, when you're in the trenches and you're doing 14, 15, 16 hour days, what are the key motivators that kept you going? Things like music, fitness, or anything else that you've said that helped you?
It's an awesome question, because it really does change as the journey goes on. I really don't think we find passions. I think we need to develop them. And often what I'm finding with passions is they start with an interest and just something you like or you're inclined to or it suits your lifestyle. That's what this was for me. But then as it grows and as you get better at it and as you have something you can give to others and you get good at it, it becomes a passion. And that's what's happened for me. So now it's very easy to work on it. When I work on it, it actually fills me, it lifts my energy. If I'm not feeling myself, working on it actually brings me more to myself.
Fantastic.
But early on, it wasn't always like that. It did have an element of that. There was an interest and a like and something I wanted to work on a Friday night. But luckily, I had other things that filled me as well. So, I loved my footy, and I played local footy for a number of years.
Yes.
Up until last year. And that was always my relief. So I would have a stressful day at work, and then I'd go to training, and for 2 hours you're running around with your mates, you're having a laugh, you're doing physical activity, and then I'd come out of it, my mind's just clear, and then I was able to focus on and the answers that I couldn't figure out before are right there in front of me.
Yes. But
I think for me, physical activity has been a massive one. Working out or training and getting a sweat. Not this type of sweat, but that's always brought me to a clearer mind so that I can attack these things in a good state, because you need to do it in a good state. When you're in a negative state or defeating state, it's very hard to solve a problem. So I've always believed, get yourself in a good state first and then look at the problem again.
Fantastic. And we're big advocates of
doing things that keep our minds clear, especially being in the marketing game. We're obviously working on many different businesses that have many different unique challenges, and for us, if we're not clear and our mindset isn't clear on what we're trying to achieve for them, then like you said, it becomes a battle. And Seb's always given me great advice when it comes to sleeping on things. He always said, you know, if it's not clear now, sleep on it, it will be clear tomorrow, and it'll become even more clear the next day and the next day. And I found that to be very, very true. And obviously with combination of, you know, doing the other things like sport, music was a big thing for me, and I believe it was for Seb as well. You know, those things really helped us stay motivated throughout our journey.
Awesome.
Which has been fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to enjoy it too. Like, if you're not enjoying it, find a way to make it enjoyable. Whether that means you need to trick yourself in a way or leverage yourself, and whether that's through physical activity or music or whatever it may be. Like, the end result is not guaranteed, and even when you get there, you're going to be shooting for something else. So you need to try to figure out a way that whatever you're doing is actually enjoyable, because this is all you got, this moment, this time.
I agree.
So
it's something you enjoy and something that just comes naturally to you, right? Because for me, crunching numbers and looking at stats and all that type of thing actually comes naturally to me. So I figured out really quickly that I have an analytical mind, and I could spend hours on end looking at graphs. And now I've gotten into crypto investing because that's like my downtime, even though that's a stressful thing as well. It continues to allow my brain to be happy. So I found that you know, in marketing, you got to do number crunching. So it came naturally for me to do this. But other aspects of the business doesn't, you know, to do meetings, to do videos like this. I mean, this is fun, but you know, there's been a lot of parts of it that have just become really strenuous on your mind, on your ability to deal with things. And sports, absolutely love it. And like you, footy is an aggressive, you know, sport that you give it all you got when you go there. Same as soccer. I do Muay Thai boxing. I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and it's just been really helpful to just start fresh the next morning. So I absolutely love it, and I reckon he's ready for another.
I reckon he's ready for another one too.
Yeah.
I'm not, so.
I know you're trying to delay.
I'm so
Nick.
glad I've got this milk over here. What are we up to?
So we've got 4 more to go.
4 more. The
halfway.
Scorpion, I believe. This is the next one, and this one's hot.
Halfway.
Hot. Yeah.
We're past the inflection point, haven't we?
We have,
Yes, we have.
And then we've got 2 of the hottest ones, which
That I
are
got
new
today.
to us. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see where they sort of weigh up in the scale of heat. But what Scoville did you say these are, Seth?
They're about 2 million.
2 million.
Yeah, and the lady told me that the chips are usually 16 million.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So looking forward to them.
I guess they can just sprinkle it all on top, can't they? They don't have to dilute it.
I believe so. What was she saying about what the actual the flavour is used for in
They're
the
made.
chips?
They're made. Well, originally they're pepper sprays.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not even considered a sauce anymore.
Fantastic.
It's been manufactured to be strong. So I guess it's. I don't know.
Well, this
I don't know if it's wise for you guys to try it. I don't know if I'm going to try it.
This product took the industry by storm. Like,
It did.
this has come out of nowhere and has taken off. And I guess it plays on the whole challenge aspect.
Yeah, but like, look at that. Do not consume.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
Warning.
Like, you know, it's warning. Don't do it. Dangerous product. Keep away from children. Nick, if you're having milk, I don't know about
I think
you and
that's
this one.
reverse psychology marketing. That makes me want to do it even more.
All right. That's all it takes.
Is
All
that
right.
a real warning label?
Yeah, is it? All
All right,
right.
let's go.
How does that one stack up? What are you feeling there?
I'm not getting anything yet.
Okay.
Is it hitting you yet?
It's another slow burner, that one.
Could be. What's the rating on this one?
About 2 mil.
2 mil, okay.
Yeah, I think up to this end.
I'm starting to get stomach feels though.
You are?
Which is a good sign.
Yeah. Tomorrow's not going to be fun.
No.
This one's a slow burner.
This one is a
Creeps
slow
up.
burner.
It'll come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what that classic hot sauce is, because that's from the Hot Ones show, so that's going to be very interesting. Seb, did you want to grab the next one, or?
Yeah. So, what's the vision? You've gotten the sales. You're making changes to the product. You're building the brand. what's the vision going forward? Where do you see yourself, the business going?
Yeah.
And where are your opportunities, your strengths, that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, initially the vision was I wanted to exit. So I wanted to build a business to exit. Because that was the model that was sold to me. It's sort of, hey, you can go into this business and in about three to 5 years, you can sell a business for $1 million.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the sort of what got me into it. But then now as I'm doing it, I'm connecting with the brand and the values of myself are actually going into the brand, which is really around like kitchenware. A lot of it, you see so many products that are beautiful, but they don't function well.
Yes.
And they cost so much, but they don't actually make the experience any easier or better. And what I wanted to solve with Novaware is actually tick the box of beauty, because that's important to people, but then give them the functionality. Give them what actually matters, what actually makes your life better and easier.
Yep.
And that connects with me just in terms of the value of improving yourself and making yourself more capable in your life. So I'm starting to really connect with the brand in a way I never had before. So it's something I want to keep growing. It's something I want, a business I can take with me around the world, where I can support my family, support my friends, and keep meeting interesting people who want to grow themselves. So for the next few years, I'd like to keep taking that forward, and of course have it be the job that I spend all my time on.
Amazing, I love it, absolutely love it, because we in Marketing Lab we think the same. We've got the never-ending improvement methodology that we stole from Toyota. It was always improve the product, never ending. And you know, Toyotas go forever. You know, they're made for that purpose, just to built to last. And once you start implementing that across your work, it starts infecting you as a person. You start improving yourself as a human being, and you love where you're going with things, and it just has its own, you know, own legs to stand on, so to speak. So I absolutely love that. So for you, it's about growing the brand a bit more, understanding more about what the clients want, maybe getting to product development and designing beautiful products that are lacking in that vertical, which you call kitchenware. Right. So what are your plans? You plan to maybe get more products on Amazon, or maybe build your own e-comm store?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the plan is I have another product scheduled for this year, and also to hit the UK marketplace. So currently in the US and Canada. So UK would be before the end of the year. Next year I have a new product I'm launching, which is under wraps at the moment, but it combines a few key items that my customers currently buy together. And I plan to launch that, and then also go into Germany, which allows me to then go to all of Europe. That's as far as the product plan goes. And then I'll also launch some of my stainless steel ones into Canada and just spread more of those SKUs across the world. So keep growing. It's hit a very fun point now where I've gotten through the slog of it. So it's now about growth and scaling up. I've got something that works. I can enjoy building it. So I want to keep evolving it up, and as well as build out that social, build out that community, and keep connecting and understanding what I want this brand to mean to myself and to people, what it stands for.
Yeah, I love that, because it's got the journey behind it, it's got the experience, it's got the proof, it's got the feedback, it has all of the component ingredients to make the magic come to life when you go and you get it out to the world. Because that's essentially what you're going to be doing, and you can do it really quick with paid media. You know, with YouTube and socials, Facebook, you can get a product out really quickly. But if it's a dud, then people will sell you out pretty quickly and tell the world how bad the product is, and that's it. You're done. So I love that you've got that history behind that. You're confident about what you're going to get. Out there.
And like Nick and I were talking before, like you guys would see it all the time. Like as a marketing agency, if you don't get the product right, it's very hard to then promote it and sell it, and you're putting shit uphill. So the hard truth is you need to get your product right to start. Now, also you can get it wrong and then you can start again. But you need a good product, and then your marketing and your photos and all these other components can flourish with it. But if it doesn't have that at its core, it's very hard to succeed with it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that one. We've met businesses that have had great products, and over the years have added so many others, and they've lost the focus of what they you know, how they became to be what they are now. And then there was a misunderstanding in the marketplace, and the businesses started, you know, going downwards, going backwards. So that when you know what the key, when you know what your product is, and you know what it does for the audience, then from that you can stem to create other products that solve the same sort of issues that they have. Absolutely love that. What do you reckon? Next source?
Yeah,
let's go. This is now becoming a bit serious.
It is becoming serious. This is the classic hot sauce. This is on the Hot Ones show, which is where we got the concept for this show. And this is one of their last sauces in their challenge, so I can guarantee it's going to be quite warm. But as we were talking about your location of markets, you're in the US, you're going to the UK, Germany. Are we going to see you in Australia?
Unlikely for the near future. Because I'm in a niche, and I deliberately picked a niche to avoid massive amounts of competition. Like if I went into water bottles, for instance, like you can't win on there. There's people with 30,000 reviews. There's 100 different versions of water bottles, all solving great problems. It's hard to stand out. So I picked a niche in the US market that still had a good amount of demand, but wasn't too many competitors coming in. But then when you translate that same niche to Australia, it's not worth it in terms of the demand just isn't there for like this type of product. So unless there's, I mean, Amazon Australia is growing rapidly, but it needs to step it up quite a bit before it'd be worth it to bring it down.
Gotcha. Fantastic.
But you still can place orders from, that's right on there. You still can place orders from Amazon US to Australia. You just need to pay a bit more to get it shipped over.
Gotcha.
Fantastic. I was going to say we'll probably see you on one of those late night TV shows, pushing the range. You know, that's Seb's favourite show to shop on, the late night TV.
Oh yeah.
I'll get your help with the direction on that.
Yeah, no, mate, I fall asleep watching that, and I wake up in the morning and think, we got to buy this vacuum. It's the best thing in this world.
They really sell ya. It's so cringy, but it works, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It hits all the spots really quickly. It takes away the scarcity, the risk, and you just think, you know what, it's worth a go. And none of them actually work really to that extent, but the marketing does. What do you reckon?
Let's go.
We'll get stuck
Tackle
into
this
this
one.
Here we go.
See how we go. See how hot this one is.
The chicken's delicious. Nando's do a good job.
I do. I'm going to have to say that I feel like that dingo one and the cherry were the two hottest ones for me.
Same.
Okay.
The classic, I think it could go down the scale.
Or maybe it just creeps up on there.
Maybe.
Maybe that's a tomorrow one.
That's a tomorrow.
How many wings do we have left?
What do you got?
I think
Two. Do we want to get Isaac to pull an additional sauce out of the batch as a wild card?
Yep.
For what he wants to try, and we've obviously got this new one, which is.
Well, you want to skip the scorpion, Nick?
We just did that before.
Oh,
The constrictor is probably the hottest sauce that we have in the batch.
So
Isaac.
I heard this is nice. We haven't had any with green jalapenos.
Constrictor, is that somewhere in there?
That is somewhere in there.
I think it'd be rude if we didn't go to constrictor. We've got to give that a go.
Push the issue.
Oh no.
Give it, give it to us. It looks mean.
It is mean, that one.
Have you had it before?
We have, yeah. That's usually at the end of our hot scale, the constrictor. What we found to be the hottest. And as you'll notice as it comes out, it is very pulpy, very thick. And I think that's got the Reaper chili in it, I believe.
Is that the world's hottest chili?
I believe so. And it seems that these chips are made with this Reaper chili as well.
Oh no. What have we done?
So I guess, Isaac, obviously now you're starting to travel around the world, which is fantastic. You are starting to live that laptop lifestyle. Is this something you want to do full time, completely quit the 9 to 5, do this business full time? Are you thinking about, scaling it to a point where you're going to employ people? What's the thinking there?
It's what I'd like to get to, where I can take it with me. I mean, I'd like to do a long period of traveling, but I think I'll still find myself back home.
Yes.
And we hear the laptop lifestyle a lot, but it's like I like to be, when I'm working, in a room, screens up, whiteboard there, and like going into it, and focused work. I find if I'm trying to do two things or in a certain environment, it doesn't quite click. So even when I'm traveling, I'd like to have a space where I could do that. And employees, yeah, eventually I think it'll probably start with VAs. So people who can do a few of those tasks that are repetitive. So it means when I get to a certain level of sales, if there's customer queries coming through, they can handle those. So that way we can still get quick responses while I'm away for a few days. Because I want to be able to disconnect. I want to be able to spend a week out in the bush. That's a high value to me.
Yes.
So I think the only way you can do that when you get to a certain scale is you've got to build the systems. You've got to have the people in the place who can do those things and not be an important cog in all of that functioning, but rather be sort of the oversight and the direction.
Yes, building that well-oiled machine so that you can take yourself out of it and it still functions the way you want it to.
Yeah, and there's great people who can help with that. Like when I think of that and when I've thought of that in the past, I'm like, how the hell am I going to build that? But then I've since met lots of people in Amazon space who specialize in Amazon businesses, building systems, overhauling your whole structure, your org chart to fit what you need so then you can be freed up. So when I get to that scale and when that becomes a problem, or even before I've already started to implement some stuff, I will reach out to those people and make sure it's there.
Yeah, it reminds me of Michael Gerber. Work on your business, not in your business, and that's a process. It's a process which I guess all business owners want to get to and get it to the point where the business is functioning without them, and it grows as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely a good challenge. All right, we get stuck into this constrictor, which was your choice.
Isaac's choice. Probably regret it as soon as he eats this, but oh man,
This is another level, is it?
yeah, this one's pretty damn hot.
Not so bad today. Maybe the cherry just.
I don't
just
know.
did it
I
for
think
us.
the cherry
Bang, bang.
really changed my mindset on how those other sauces weigh up.
It's the label's perfect for it too, because it's very playful and it surprises you.
It does.
How it hits you.
It does.
It's two love hearts with guns, like shooting guns up into there.
That's right.
So I think we're gonna have to move that up in the list.
new
This
one.
one is a slow burner though. Is it coming on now?
I'll wait for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Constrictor comes and gets you.
It definitely does. And I want to say you were handling this very well, Isaac. I'm not.
I thought I liked chili, but I wasn't sure like how far I'd be tested, so I'm waiting to see, especially with those
With the
things.
chips.
Oh, you're keen.
He's going in on those
I
chips.
think we've got to hit him.
We've got to hit him.
We've got to hit him.
All right.
Fantastic.
I need a bit of peer pressure to get those ones down, I think. I've seen some bad things on the internet, so...
really, with those?
Yeah. It's like getting hit by a pepper spray, so watch out. So we got one more, and then we're going to get stuck into the hot chips.
Yes.
Nick, do you want to ask you, or you don't, you actually might need a towel or something.
Yeah, I'm going to wipe myself a little bit. Do you have something you want to ask,
Killing it.
Isaac, before I get to the next question?
Yeah, I guess you've covered a lot, mate, and you've shared a lot of good value, so I really do appreciate it. I guess I like to just sort of wrap it up by sort of asking if you were trying to give a business advice or somebody that's trying to get things to take off and they're unsure about how to make it work, if it's even worth it. They've got that driving force behind them, of course, they need it, otherwise they won't be doing this. What has been your method to stay motivated, to stay focused, and to really go through that grind?
Yeah, I think the big one is just don't stop working on yourself. Like the biggest strength I had and still have is I enjoy it. I enjoy asking those questions and looking introspectively. And it meant I got really clear on the why and what I was working towards. Yeah. So when those barriers hit, and they're inevitably going to hit, and there's going to be mental barriers, there's going to be actual problems you need to face and need to solve, you're just more likely to get through it because there's people have done it before you. Like it's very rarely we're doing something that someone hasn't done before. So it is a matter of this step, next step, and finding a path through it. And yeah, it never shapes the way you expect it does. But you'll find your path through it if you just persist.
Love that. Find the right people, persist, and you know, just believe in that journey from those people that have done it before you.
Yeah.
I think they're really good advice. So I reckon Nick, let's just get straight into the
Killing me
next
here, man.
source, and
Killing me here.
let's wrap it up with some
Yes.
All right,
funny
well,
stuff.
let Isaac do the honours. You can crack that one. I've gone through 2 glasses of milk. The advice is don't go for a run. Do any physical activity.
Yeah, after you've done this challenge.
After you've done this
There you go,
challenge.
mate, just get it out.
That's it. There we go.
What we didn't do is have quickies.
Quickies?
We were told that you have a quickies before you do the hot sauce,
Yeah.
and then after that's meant to base it. And we were told by a good friend of ours, Mac from Fitline, and he's like the chili guy.
Yeah.
Chili
What's
man.
what's a
knows.
quickie?
It is
it's
like
like
a jube lolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's used for stomach upsets, and well, I just lathered mine on with
Yeah,
this
mine
good
just
stuff.
dripped right out, so it's all over.
Holy
I just
moly.
did mine on yours.
Oh, Nick. Just get it in there, mate. Double-sided. All right, let's go.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Good luck.
I just lost half that chicken. Thoughts on that one?
So far, so good.
Tasty.
Happy with that?
I don't think that did much.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's all the same to me at this point.
Yeah, I think we hit hot about here,
Yeah.
and then it's just maintained that.
It's just maintain that heat. I
Yeah.
agree.
I think
More
this
about
is
the
going to take
experience
it to
now.
the next level.
Oh, I don't even know if there's a next level with that, Nick.
I'm so glad I bought a
think
change
it's
of
over
clothes
after
and I
that.
bought a towel because I'm going to have a shower today again. I've made that ritual. Seb doesn't get out of the change of clothes because he doesn't sweat at all. Look at him. He's wearing a skivvy and no perspiration coming off his.
Yeah, he says to me, I'm a robot, an AI bot that has no sweat glands. So I guess that's a good segue into the next question. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence and AI, and how, you know, businesses can see business will use it in the future?
Yeah, I'm quite conflicted with it because there's a lot of parts of me that look at it and see the tools that we can use and how much it can help the business, and particularly like even just ChatGPT and how that's helped me with copywriting, which is something I really like as a skill set. So there's heaps of possibilities, and like this is obviously just the tip of the iceberg, but I'm also a bit cautious in how we use it. I heard a great podcast which was talking through essentially drawing the connection that we're sort of like the AI's parents. What we feed it is what it will become, and when we're talking about AI and what it can become, it can be quite life-changing in the way we live our life. So let's be conscious about how we use it, what we're using it for, and a big part of that is I want to use it in a way which is not just I want to beat the other guy's business, and I want to sell to the consumer. I want to see how I can use it to actually bring a better result, both to my customers and just society in more general.
So it's a bit of both. You're still on the fence. You're not sure whether it's going to be good or bad, and really nobody knows. I guess we're excited about it because of the way it helps us solve a problem a lot better and more efficient, like what we were talking about previously. You know, there's a lot of innovation in AI, and when it comes to marketing and targeting your ideal customer, and that's great, helping you write content quicker. You know, that's also great. But what's going to happen in the background? Like, you know, what are these AI bots going to be programmed to do, and by who? So it does raise a lot of questions. And once you put the serious hat on, I guess they're things we won't know until the time comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nick, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are not even here at the moment. But I think AI is going to, like Isaac said, it depends how you use it, is I guess how it's going to impact your business. If you're using it just to beat someone else, probably not a great use of the tool. But we've used it heaps here at Marketing Lab, not just ChatGPT, but other tools that have helped us streamline a lot of processes, which has been fantastic because, as you know, as a business owner, alleviating time to work on other parts of your business that need it is
something that's invaluable to obviously the success of a business. Tools like we've even tried to. I think you tried to make a clone of yourself at one point to do video marketing.
I did. I did.
Videos, and
Yeah.
that was very, very interesting. I'd have
Yeah.
to say, because I feel like that's where a lot of things are going. We're going to be seeing a lot of clones of people.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
Well, I put myself in my customers' shoes, and 90% of them, they don't want to stand in front of a camera. It's actually a lot of work to stand in front of a camera. You have to overcome a lot of challenges to be able to stand in front of a camera. So learning how to push the boundaries with this AI technology that we have today that can get 10 or so videos from you and already build a persona and be able to mimic any mouth movement that you make and even clone your voice. It's only a matter of time. I mean, we're talking today, but what's it going to be like in 6 months or a year? You won't be able to tell the difference between what's artificially created or the real thing. And if it's going to help streamline the processes for businesses so they can educate their customer base on their products, their services, their coaching, their programs, it's the sky's the limit. There's a lot of endless opportunities there. But as I said, we're also got the challenges that data is going to be a lot harder to collect in the future as more and more restrictions are rolled out. So if we can get better at using AI to detect who our customer is and then be able to serve them more targeted ads, the better we are equipped for the future that's coming. Because I think the power will come from those that have built an ecosystem and have learned how to extract who their customers are really well. And I think that's what you've done using Amazon really well, is you crystallized on who your customer is, and now Ben's helping you take it to the next level. But if you're gonna look to go to other platforms, the best advice I can give you is to mirror that audience. Who are they? What age are they? What is it? Male, female? Is there an equal split? Where do they live? What areas do they live in? If you can get all that intelligence through, surveys and quizzes and questions and videos they watch, then what you can do is you can go to YouTube and mirror that audience and say, I want these people to come to my site. So now you've got an Amazon that's functioning on its own ecosystem, driving you enough traffic, and then you go to YouTube with that learning that you made over there, mirror it here, and that takes off, and it works from the get-go.
Yeah, just scales up your business rapidly using that information. It's great advice.
No worries. All right, so we done? That was it? That was the last one?
That was the last sauce, but now we're on to the heavy hitting.
Okay, so this is a surprise to me because
hot chips.
Nick last minute said, hey, let's go extra hot on this, so let's do it.
Let's go for it.
You've been amazing so far. Let's see if we can get you to.
And I like the motivation that Isaac's given us to do this.
I'm going to start with a little one.
He's pushing me.
Are you going to do a little one?
Yeah.
Are we going a big one?
I think we'll split a big one in half and go.
Split the big one.
Yeah.
You can take that one, Nick. That looks like it's really nicely based for you.
Come on, Sam.
Come on, Nick. You're young.
Sensitive to spicy foods. I am sensitive to spicy foods.
So,
if you have gastro,
good luck, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you on the other
Good
side. Oh, you got a whole thing?
Oh, shit. Alright.
How we doing?
I'm okay.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I think it hits you in
10 minutes.
So.
Oh no, we might not be around for 10 minutes.
No, and I don't know how much footage we want to get of us absolutely
Rolling up.
spiraling. But yeah, Isaac, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on today. It was, it's been great to get someone who's dug through the trenches with starting an Amazon store, going through those hurdles and coming out the other side where you've actually now starting to reap the rewards of this business that you built from the ground up. And I guess that motivates a lot of people that might not be in this space, and they're going through that sort of constant tug and fro of, I'm stuck in a 9 to 5 and it's not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I want something more from my life. And they're looking at other avenues of what they can do, and e-commerce and product launching is a big one. You're a
testament to the fact that it can be done,
Yeah.
even though, you know, if you might not have any experience at all, you can, you know, gather the right resources, get in front of the right people, and surround yourself with the right people, and obviously motivate yourself to do that hard work, but you can get through it and build yourself something that you can be proud of. And like you said, you want to take it to the point where it's supporting your family, allowing you to travel and doing all these fantastic things. So it's been great to have you on, and I've learned a lot from this talk.
Yeah, same.
And I'm sure Sebastian
Absolutely
has as
have.
well. So it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's like Nick said, it's a good testament to see that somebody actually makes it on the other side. You know, obviously there's never ending to that. By the sounds of it, you're just always going to be growing as an individual. But you know how you did that over picking the right products, the right verticals, the right platform, and getting all those pieces to line up with the right mindset. I think it was key from today's takeaway. And the fact that you can even, you know, take us to go to the next level with the hot chips.
In good company, we can do anything, and
Yeah.
we attack that.
Yeah.
But thank you both.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah, same.
And I love what you guys are doing as well.
Yeah, thank you.
And how you're servicing your clients. It's
Awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see your pathway
Yeah.
forward.
And you'll come back?
Of course.
Yeah, awesome.
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Thank you
It's
so
been an
much.
absolute pleasure. Guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel where we'll update you with the latest hot sauce challenges and also some general marketing stuff that Sebastian and I are going to be putting up. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. We're not too sure who we're going to have on. It's going to be a surprise, so stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, so, and also maybe stick around. We'll see what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. We're not sure, but so far it's been okay.
I'm heading up pretty
You're heating up
rapidly
pretty
here,
good?
so I'm going to have to run a cold shower.
Until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Fantastic.